I've had women on every level. I've had young girls to Olympic athletes. I have had Olympic athletes reach out to me.
A few weeks ago, a story of a female skateboarder that was beaten by a transgender woman sponsored in a competition by Red Bull went insanely viral. And I just so happen to have that lovely woman here today, and she's gonna tell us all about her experience and the misogyny and the crazies. Now, most of you that have been watching this channel for a while do know my stance on trans women in sports, and that has stayed the same for the better part of the last 2 years, and that is, if you have gone through male puberty, you have an advantage. There are also tons of studies that now prove this theory to be true. This one was actually written in the Daily Mail, which is actually, I think, a pretty left-leaning website based out of the UK, and it says, doctors confirm trans swimmer Leah Thomas does have an unfair advantage even after taking testosterone suppressants. We've also seen people like Fallon Fox, who's a trans woman and an MMA fighter, crack a biological woman's skull in competition. So what about in the sport of skateboarding?
I thought I was gonna delete it. And
you were going to, weren't you?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Not. Once you post something like that, you gotta commit. I saw the hate comments for the first hour, and I was like, I went to the beach. Hi everybody, I'm Taylor Silverman. I am a skateboarder, and I have been a fan of this YouTube channel for a while, so I'm really excited to be here.
Which means you are a racist, a bigot, a TERF, a transphobe, a homophobe, clearly.
These are all things that I've been called a lot lately. I've been competing in skateboarding for many years. I'm not the world's best skateboarder. I compete at an AM level, but it's really fun, and sometimes I make money doing it. I competed last December in a Red Bull contest. I got second place to a trans competitor, and I lost out on some money because of it. First thing I did was I sent an email. A biological man with a clear advantage won the women's division, best trick, and also won multiple qualifiers. This took away the opportunity that was meant for women to place and earn money. Now realize it's really important for me to speak up, and I'd like to schedule a time to talk. And he never responded.
And then I wrote back, and then you went to Instagram and you were like, so now I'm gonna call their asses out.
I had even seen trans YouTubers talk about this. I had seen Blair's videos, I had seen Sarah Higdon's videos.
The irony and the absolute hypocrisy of this all is hilarious, because Red Bull posted something back in 2015 called an open letter to female skaters, an open letter on why girls should skate. And it said, gender equality is important in sports, and one way to ensure it is to include and encourage girls. Not even 6 years later, they do this. 37,000 comments.
Over 26,000 shares.
Wow. How vicious has the backlash been from the supposed loving and tolerant left?
I knew people would hate me for this. I knew that people would disagree with me, but I didn't expect it to be as extreme.
This degree.
But also, I've not gotten as much hate as I've gotten support, and I think that's important. But I had people who I had known a long time telling me that I was hateful, I was a piece of trash, I should hurt myself, and I had people attacking me for being Jewish. And that was one of the reasons it took me so long to speak up, because I already was getting hate messages for being Jewish on Instagram long before I did this. I really believe what I'm saying is the right thing, and I don't think I've said anything hateful. And it's upsetting that people the truth is now considered hate speech, which is really the issue. I have some comments here if you want to, because I feel like these would probably. Did you find some good ones?
Well, I feel like these would probably be the ones that you got the most of. Not like the worst ones, but these would be the most common ones.
Because it sounds like you're just upset that you didn't get first.
But you did!
But I would have gotten first.
You would have gotten first.
And honestly, I've skated a bunch of contests, and I've come in first, I've come in last, and I've come anywhere in between. And I have fun at all the contests, but when you feel like you're getting robbed of the spot that you would have gotten.
Right, that's the actual issue.
I was not happy about that, but there's a lot more to the story than just, oh, you're a sore loser. I'm not a sore loser.
Right.
I just didn't get the place that I would have gotten had this been exclusively female division. She's just a better skater than you. She has an advantage. She was born a man.
Do the other female competitors feel it's unfair to compete against a male? And do you think that it's going to take women standing up and protesting these events to get this changed? There are some other women across the world doing this sort of thing. There was a British transgender cyclist that was blocked from racing against biological women after the biological women protested against it. There's also a swimmer in Australia that that recently was on Twitter that was speaking out against this, saying that it just isn't fair.
It ranges. There are people who genuinely believe that trans women are women. There is no difference. Anyone who says or thinks otherwise is a hateful, transphobic bigot. And then there are also people who have more reasonable opinions on that same side of the debate. The inclusion of trans people in contests is more important than fairness, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Unfortunately, a lot of other feelings get hurt, and I think there will be a better way to go about trans people competing in sports than what we're doing now. And in order for that to happen, we have to have that conversation.
We have to actually be able to discuss it like we're doing now.
I don't think that the responsibility to solve this should fall on female athletes. I don't think it should be my responsibility to solve this. I don't think I should be the only voice at the table. I think that, especially in something like skateboarding, where there are a lot of trans skaters, maybe skateboarding could be a trailblazer to creating something like a trans division. And I think that would be really supported. I think sponsors would support that. I think that people would be interested in watching that. I think it would provide more opportunities for trans people, and it would be done in a way that was more fair. Skateboarding is probably more diverse than a lot of different sports. Any age, any race, any religion. That's something that I love about skateboarding. It calls a lot of different people to feel passionate about it. I haven't gotten to all of my DMs yet because there's...
What do you mean? There's only like 30,000 of them?
There's more than that. There's more DMs than there are comments on the post.
Oh my God.
A lot more people feel comfortable reaching out to me in the DMs than they do publicly writing something, because they know that it'll blow up their notifications, first of all, and then people might come directly to their page too. The amount of professional athletes, Olympic athletes, girls who are in high school, parents of athletes, a lot of parents who were college athletes and now have kids. They want,
of course, they want the best for their kids, right?
They want people to speak up about this. It's also just amazing that so much of the internet saw all the hate comments and actually took time to counteract that. Because
you mean that the tolerant and loving left isn't as tolerant as the middle and the right?
That's not my experience so far.
That's not my experience
But
either.
this is my first time being a controversial
canceled
figure in America. So I was scared to speak up because I knew that would put a target on my back, because I already would get.
Well, you're Jewish, you're a woman, and you're speaking out against supposed trans rights. That's 3 targets on your back right there.
I was in Israel when I did it. 4
targets.
That gets 2 points. 5 targets.
5 targets.
Extra point in Israel when I said this.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time before you go back home. And your next stop is you're going on Tim Pool's show, right?
Yes, I'm gonna go out to DC to meet Tim Pool and film some stuff there.
Love Tim. Make sure you follow her on her Instagram.
Some of the media, when this first blew up, portrayed me as like this amazing, like world-known skateboarder, which is just an AM contest. I'm an AM.
I didn't know that either. I made that mistake.
Somebody left a comment that said, "You're a legend. You'll go down in history for this, but never for your skating." And I was like,
okay, I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, okay. That's where we end the video.